other things to do to help his team win. He's not going to worry about that. He's just going to play hard. He's a good ball player.
Well, and Brad, I think only 2 points in that game last week in that win up at Graceland. But boy, we had some other guys pitch in big. And I heard Chad Lance talk in your interview, Jacob Fletcher. Jacob drained those 3 big 3-point shots in the second half. Graceland had come back and tied that game. Then the Vikes, as you said, went on that 20-0 run to put the game out of reach. And that's about as impressive a run on the road as I've seen any team put together in a long time.
Here's a starting lineup. We talked about Nate Lanas, the senior, 6'4", out of Olathe. Justin Randall did not play the last time these teams met. The 6'7" sophomore out of Burlington, Iowa. Gabriel Jordan, a 6'2" freshman, and he is out of Alexandria, Louisiana. Cale Brubaker, the point guard we talked about, the 6-foot junior. Cale is from the state of Texas. And Welty Hudson wears number 25, a 6'4" freshman out of Parkville, Missouri. Vikings go with Byron Cook, the point guard out of Fort Worth, the 5'11" freshman. Leading scorer and leading rebounder is James Lane out of Cape Girardeau, the 6'6" senior. Robbie Burton, St. John's Antigua, 6'7" junior, averaging 13.4 points a game and 6 rebounds. Brad Hamilton, the 6'2" senior, Pittsfield, Illinois, by way of John Woods Community College in Quincy, 12.5 points a game. And then Andre Scott out of Fort Worth by way of Wentworth Junior College, a 6'2" senior out of Fort Worth.
You know, Ken, everybody talks about Andre Scott, Ravio Burton, James Lane, and Brad Hamilton, all 4 returning starters. Byron Cook, the unknown man in the mix, but boy, he's getting better and better. Really doing a good job at that point guard position. Does a good job dishing the ball out, getting it down the court, and he's starting to score some too.
Yeah, he only averages 2.5 a game. Doesn't shoot the ball very much, but when he does, he can be pretty effective. Vikings in their home gray with the purple numerals and the orange trim. The Pioneers in the red uniforms, white numerals trimmed in the dark blue. Pioneers across the back, MNU across the front. And we are ready for basketball this afternoon. The Vikings and the Pioneers. And the ball is in the air and controlled by the Pioneers, Brubaker.
I hope he does not shoot like he did up in Olathe the last time we played. He had 21 points.
Yeah, Rocky said he had 6 turnovers, but I think he'd take the 21. Here's the pass underneath, and they lay it in. So the Vikings, little switch underneath. The Vikings lost Randall, and he scored. Again, did not play against us, and here's the shot.
Andre
Scott quickly comes down and launches, and we are tied. Now the ball loose on the floor. We'll have a tie ball, and right away the Vikings will get it, as that was Jordan who fell to the floor, and he was tied up by Andre Scott.
And Andre Jordan and Brad Hamilton, all 3 wrestling around on the floor for that loose ball. And with the alternate possession rule, the Vikes get it back as MidAm won the opening tap.
I think Rocky wanted a timeout, didn't get the call. I heard him say, "Didn't you hear me?" And the official said, "No, I didn't." So here's Andre Scott.
Honest answer.
Yep. Baseline to James Lane. Lane works for that jump hook. Baseline. Got it. Oh, that's a pretty shot. 4-2 Valley.
You look at that shot and think, no way that's going in, but it goes in almost every time.
That is such a pretty shot. Randall out high, gives it off to Hudson. Now they're working down low to Randall, and he's fouled on the way up. Or rather, Lanas is fouled on the way up.
Yeah, Nate Lanas, he's the leading scorer on this team, and Vikes will have to they'll have to know where he is all the time. Lanas averaging 18.6 points a game, so he's the real deal.
This team shoots 35 points from beyond the arc. They shoot 45% overall from the field. The Vikings about the same. So these two teams shoot it just about as well.
Lanas knocks down the first one. He'll have one more.
Good shooter. And he knocks them both down. The young man, 6'4", senior. And he's out of Olathe. 4-4 is our score in the first minute. Underneath the lane. Boy, nice pass. And Lane just kind of slides in on the right side. He has a quick 4 points. Valley up 6-4. Jordan drives baseline. Cut off by Burton. Looks inside, not there. Back out to Brubaker. And around to Lanas. Fakes the shot. Gives it back out to Brubaker. Vikings in that man-to-man defense. They will play some zone. Randall has it. Out front it goes to Hudson. Hudson to Brubaker. Lanas will try a 3. High-arching shot is good. And Nate Lanas has 5 quick points. It's 7-6.
He's a pretty good player.
He's a real good player. Laid off to Andre Scott. Scott Wheels it back to Hamilton, who gives it off to Cook. Cook, top of the key. Baseline, Andre Scott. He'll try another shot, won't go. Ball is tipped, comes back to Cook. Underneath to Andre, layup good. As Andre got it from Lane and scored, and Andre has a quick four. Here's a shot in the corner that's off, no good. That one taken by Lannis, and Andre Scott the other way. Top of the key. Ravi Burton spins inside. His little jump hook is good and a foul.
And that's good to see Ravi go up strong. That time he went right over the top of Justin Randall. Randall, a big guy, a 6'7" sophomore, but that time Ravi went right over the top of him. Very physical, laid it in. A chance now for the three-point play.
Andre Scott's quickly going to come out of the game, and that brings in Kyle Hickey, another Fort Worth product, the 6'4" freshman, who's really a good player off the bench for Valley.
Come on, big guy, knock this one down.
See if Robbie can complete the three-point play. He cannot. Burton with Randall with a rebound. Vikes up 10-7. Quick pass to Lannis. Now to Brubaker at the top of the key. Hamilton has that defensive assignment to Lannis. Swinging around to Jordan. Jordan, Randall, free throw line, 15-footer. Rims in and out. Rebound, Ravi Burton. Ravi starts to dribble and hands it off to Hamilton. Hamilton will push it across the timeline. Hamilton around a screen. Now down low to Lane. Lane goes in the middle. Jump hook. This one won't go. Crashes the boards. Can't get it as it's picked away by Jordan. Gabriel Jordan to Brubaker to Lannis. Hands it back to Brubaker. Just underway. And now the ball's coming right at us. And one hop higher, and I would have had it. And we started the break the other way.
And I noticed you had both feet set.
I was ready to go.
You had your shoulders kind of bent. You were in position to score right there.
I was probably going to pass. I was probably going to get the assist on the long pass.
That's okay.
That's
in a game like this, that would certainly be okay.
Here's Randall. Gets the high pass back to Lannis. Lannis, top of the key. Cut off there by Hamilton. He's used the dribble. Jordan, back to Brubaker. 16:58 to go first half. 10-7 Valley. Randall lobs underneath. Lannis got away from Hamilton and got the short shot to go down. They posted him up. He had the size advantage, and he made it work. 10-9.
Had that lob pass, no backdoor help by the Vikings that time. So Lannis, he's got 7 points already.
Whalen ready to come into the game. Here's Cook. Finds Ravi at the free throw line. 15-footer is good for Ravi Burton. He has 4, and it's 12-9 Vikings. Brubaker on the run. Gives it off to, goes baseline to Lannis. Back out front for Hudson. Out to Brubaker. Brubaker top of the key. Vikings again in that man-to-man defense. We've played about 4 minutes. Fires a pass underneath. Jordan working his way inside the lane. Tough shot, missed it. Rebound, pulled down and put up, no good. And finally, Burton pulls it down as the shot was missed by Hudson. 16 minutes to go. Cook looking at left side. Now brings it back to the middle of the floor. Hands it to James Lane, who gives it back to Hickey. Off to Cook. Man-to-man defense now by the Pioneers. Hickey into James Lane.
Good ball movement by the Vikings.
Fires it all the way across. Tries to get it to Cook, and he can't hang on to the pass. It goes out of bounds in the Pioneer bench, so a turnover comes right back to the Pioneers.
I said good ball movement by the Vikings, and then right then Byron Cook, or somebody throws, I think it was James Lane, throws a Tom Brady bullet right over the head of Byron Cook.
Whalen coming into the ball game. Jordan Whalen, 6'4" junior for the Pioneers. 15.5 minutes to go. High post. They give it off there to Hudson. Now working down low to Whalen. Free throw line. Randall open, knocks it down. Well, the big guy knocks that one home, and it's 12-11. Here's a shot off the glass, won't go.
Good give and go with Hamilton and Lane that time, just missed the shot.
Whalen drives to the lane, all the way to the basket. Nobody stopped him, and he goes in and scores. So it's 13-12 as the Pioneers jump out to a lead. Joe, you're right. When these two teams get together, forget records, forget anything else. It's always a battle.
Well, we remember 2 years ago when the two teams played. We've talked about this several times this year. They played right after Christmas here on this floor. And I said, I'll be home. I told my wife, Candy, I'd be home around 7 o'clock. Well, the game went either 2 or 3 overtimes. I can't remember what. And then there was a tremendous blizzard outside. And we both wheeled in at what? 10:30, 11 o'clock.
11, something like that. It's not going to be a blizzard tonight, thank goodness.
We should be playing this game out on the playground. It's about, for you that are out of state somewhere, it's about 70 degrees in Marshall today. And, you know, this is the kind of game you go out on the playground. Everybody has a picnic basket. You sit there and enjoy it.
13-12 is our score. As Brody Thompson into the lineup now, he gives it off to Hickey. Hickey drives right side, back to Lane, off to Brody. Brody around the screen by Joe Williams. The Vikings have really gone to the bench here. Now give it right back to Andre. Andre to Hickey, drives right side, takes it all the way. Ooh, should have went up for the shot. He tried to pass it and lost it. Now Brubaker has it. He loses it, off to Hickey. Hickey will take it. No-look pass to Lane. Tried to go for the slam, missed it, but he was fouled.
I think Hudson's going to get whistled with a foul. James Lane went up with the slam, and Hudson down low got him with the body. So good call by Gene Millentree, the official that time, and that'll be the first foul, I believe, on Hudson.
So Hudson, let's see, we'll pick it up, Welty Hudson, and that'll put Lane at the free throw line. 13-12. Pioneers with the lead. Lane's free throw, missed it, rolled off the right side. Vikings are 0 for 2 from the line. Payne Andrus comes in. Andrus wears number 15, a 5'11 sophomore. And he is out of Willis, Texas.
James missed that first free throw. He'll have one more. He missed them both.
Boy, the Vikings are 0 for 3 early in the game from the line. Quick pass. Here come the Pioneers. Lob it baseline to Hudson. Hudson didn't like the shot. Gives it to Andrus, who will work it back out front. Now baseline pass, tipped by Brody Thompson, taken away by Kyle Hickey. Hickey with a steal for the Vikes. Top of the key, off to Brody. Brody gives it back to Williams. Williams to the top of the key to Andre Scott. Andre is going to launch a three. Got it! Oh, it was a two. He was on the line. So Andre Scott gets the deuce. He has 6. Almost a steal. Now the Vikings are, that ball went right through the legs of Andrus, but they say it last touch by Brody Thompson.
Well, the Vikings got that last bucket by Scott. Exactly 14 minutes left to play. It's a 1-point Viking lead, so the lead seesawing back and forth, as we've seen so many times when these two teams hook up.
We'll give you the women's scores when we get an opportunity here. Andrus at the top of the key. Working against Brody Thompson. Gives it off to Randall. Randall pops out to Lanas. Lanas to Andrus. Drives left side all the way. Reverse layup. Good. Good quick move by Payne Andrus. And it's 15-14. Pioneers. Jordan Bowling into the game. They get it into Joe Williams. His short jump hook is good.
Big Joe. Good job, Joe.
That's a good move. He just said around that basket. He can score. He's a scorer around that basket. And it's 16-15. Pioneers with a basketball is Jake Fletcher, the hero of the 20-point run the other night, getting ready to come in. Andrus, the top of the key, guarded by Brody Thompson. Now they'll work it around to Jordan. Jordan gives it to Lanas. Lanas free throw line. Back to Jordan. Around a screen. 15-footer with the left hand. No good. Oh, man, coming through is Randall. No one blocked him, and he got flying to the lane for the rebound. Now he turns, misses the shot. Jordan Bowling with a rebound. Quickly to Brody Thompson.
Yeah, Randall stands at 6'7". You've got to get a body on him when a shot
Thompson
goes up.
To Bowling. Ball loose on the floor. Tie ball. Possession arrow should be Pioneers ball.
Coach Chad Lance wanted a foul on that, but no call as Byron Cook, Brad Hamilton, Jake Fletcher all check into the Viking lineup. Kyle Hickey, Andre Scott, and Brody Thompson will all take a seat.
And we've seen these players come off the bench really do a good job for the Vikings.
That's why the team has done so well. Their bench has really contributed in so many games this year.
Here's Andrus, who'll walk it up and gives it off to Whalen. Also checking in is Chris Parker. Parker with a basketball. Back to Whalen. He'll drive in, and a foul before the shot. Foul is going to be called on Jake Fletcher, Public Missouri sophomore.
That's the Vikings' third team foul. Mid-America's been saddled with only 2 so far.
16-15, 12:34 to go in the first half. Whalen looks to inbound the ball, fires it out high for Andrus. Andrus back to Whalen. Free throw line extended right area, back to Andrus. Vikes stay in that man-to-man defense. Now to Whalen. He gets by Hamilton. Jump step off to Lanas. Layup good. Lawless now has 9 points, 17-16. Cook into the forecourt, off to Jordan Bowling. Bowling gives it back to Fletcher. Fletcher to Cook. Turns in traffic, drives left side all the way to the basket. Oh, that one won't go down. And it will be Viking ball underneath.
Boy, that's a shame, because that was a great spin move that time by Byron Cook. He dribbled through a double team out on the right wing and took it with the left hand right down the middle. Flipped it up very softly, but I guess had the wrong angles. It spun around the rim and kicked out. But as you said, Vikes keep the ball.
Lane and Burton back into the game. Cook top of the key. Whistle away from the play. Let's see what we have here.
Foul on Chris
Parker. That's the first on Parker out of Kansas City, Kansas, 6'5" junior. Vikes trail by 1. Look to get it into Fletcher. Now they'll go baseline to Hamilton in the lane. He's bumped. Rafi can't come up with it. He's going to be pushed from behind by Parker, and he picks up another foul in a hurry.
Well, so far, Ravi Burton seems like he's playing very aggressively, very active so far in the paint, and that's good to see.
That's the third foul now on the Pioneers. Lane gets the pass way out by the Viking at midcourt and hands it off to Fletcher. Cook starts to work that left side. Round the screen, kicks it into the corner. Fletcher, he'll take it back to the middle of the floor. Off to James Lane, now to Hamilton. Hamilton, pass underneath the Burton. Ravi goes in strong in his foul. Boy, nice entry pass again from Hamilton, and Ravi couldn't hit it, but he'll take shoot.
Yeah, Ravi was moving across the lane, and Brad made that wraparound pass with the left hand, got it right down, hit Ravi in full stride, and Ravi almost knocked that one down, but he'll be at the line for 2 shots to try to once again give the Vikings a lead with 11.5 minutes left to play in the first half.
Well, I thought our Joe Williams could pick up fouls in a hurry. How about Chris Parker? He's already got 3.
Yeah, and Big Joe. Big Joe's still looking for his first. He's on the bench right now, so he won't get it now.
Well, let's see if Ravi can knock these down. He'll shoot 2 for the lead. Got it, and that's the first make for the Vikings from the line. They're now 1 out of 4.
Unusual to see James Lane miss 2 free throws, which he did just a couple of minutes ago. He's usually a very good free throw shooter.
Now Lane trying to give the Vikings the lead. 11:32 to go, first half, as we go back and forth. And Ravi can't hit it. Vikings only 1 out of 5 from the line. And then we're tied at 17. Brubaker back into the contest, working against Cook. Boy, a lot of body contact there, and Cook got called for it.
Yeah, that time Byron just a little bit too close, and Brubaker made a move, and Byron couldn't get out of the way. So one of those things is Andre Scott, Brody Thompson come back in, Byron Cook, and Jake Fletcher will sit down for the Vikings.
17 all. The Pioneers forget their overall record of 6-14. They're 5-6 in the league. That's the record that counts.
They could be a team that would make some noise down the stretch here in this conference race.
Brubaker top of the key. Works it off for Whalen. Whalen out front to Randall, who hands it back to Brubaker. Brubaker to Whalen. Drives right side all the way to the basket and scores. Nice quick move, Jordan Whalen.
Pretty quick move, pretty powerful move that time by Whalen.
19-17. Thompson off to Lane, now to Hamilton. Hamilton, long 3, that's going to be off the mark. Whalen with a rebound. Long pass down court. Nice pass. The ball shot is blocked by Lane as they got it down there to Hudson, but Lane blocked the shot.
And that brought about 6 Viking football players on the far side to their feet.
Brody Thompson, 14-footer in the lane, no good. Ball being tipped, comes back to Whalen. Long pass up to Brubaker. Brubaker again to Hudson. Hudson. Back out front. They'll work at baseline. And here's another turnaround baseline by Whalen. He has the last 4. It's 21-17. Pioneers.
Yeah, Whalen's looking good. A nice baseline jumper that time. Good strong move to the basket the previous time.
Here comes Hamilton through traffic. Gets it off to Rafi, and he lays it in. Nice assist by Hamilton to Rafi. It's 21-19.
Hamilton split the double team and found Rafi. Good play by Brad.
Brubaker top of the key, 21-19. 10 minutes to go in the half. Lob pass underneath, and that one was missed by Whalen. The easiest of the last 3, and he missed that one.
By far.
Now the pass inside to Robbie. Jump hook for the tie. Won't go. Rebound, Andre Scott. He throws it off the leg of one of the Pioneers. That's Gabriel Jordan. The Vikings will still have the ball.
Lannis checks back in, also checking into the Mid-America lineup for the first time, O'Shea Clark. He's a 6'2 sophomore out of Topeka.
Vikings trailing by 2. Get it into Hamilton, baseline. He missed badly. You don't see that very often from Brad Hamilton. He missed everything. Clark with a rebound. And the other way, the Vikes don't get back. They throw it down to Randall, and he shovels one in. He stuffs that one. It's 23-19.
That was a pretty play that time. They hit Justin Randall on the dead run. He went up, didn't even flip the net, but he did stuff it.
Now Brody Thompson for 3. That won't go. Vikings a quick shot. Here come the Pioneers leading by 4 with the ball. And Brody Thompson almost had a steal. Brubaker still has it to Lannis. Now down the middle. They'll work it to the baseline. Randall scores again. And it is a 6-0 run for the Pioneers. The Vikings need a timeout. 25-19, 9:05 to go. And it always seems like, Joe, the Pioneers save their best for the Vikings, and right now they're putting on a clinic.
Yeah, they are right now. And Justin Randall, he's had the last 2 buckets. He got loose on that long pass, that home run pass. He got it and stuffed it in the basket. And that time he put a nifty move on down low on the block, kissed it off the glass. So good timeout by Chad. Got to get the guys settled down. Got to be a little more patient, I think, on offense. We're hurrying our shots a little bit right now, it looks like to me.
Yeah, Brad Hamilton hurried a couple, and then at that time Brody took a quick 3, and nothing wrong with the shot. It was pretty soon in the quick in the shot clock.
Well, you take that long shot. You certainly like that shot and want to take it, but you want to be sure you've got offensive rebounders in position. So
25-19 is our score as the Pioneers lead by 6. Good timeout by Chad Lance. Let's see what the Vikings can do here as they trail by 6. The women's game was a good one, but Mid-America won that game by 3 points over the Vikings. Let's see. Hickey on the floor along with Lane, Andre Scott, Burton, and Hamilton.
Well, Kyle's lost about 3 inches in height since he got a haircut. He's got pretty well buzzed right now. He's shrunk a little bit.
Hamilton drives inside, scoops it up, missed it. Burton with a rebound. He has it knocked away and taken away by Hudson. Long pass down, and there's another slam. The Vikings don't get back, and Randall again beats everybody down court, and it's an 8-point lead.
Randall, the last 6 points of the game. He's got 10 now for Mid-America, and another stuff for him.
Vikings, here's Hickey with an outside shot. It won't go. One shot, and you're done. Burton keeps it alive, and the Vikings can't save it. Well, again, Joe, I think a very quick shot.
Yeah, I got to run that offense. If you can get somebody set up beyond the arc, get their feet set, that's okay. But that time, Hickey a little bit quick on the release.
Vikings came into this thing tied for second in the league, but right now the Mid-America Nazarene Pioneers on a 3-game winning streak. They'd like to get to 500 in the conference, and they're looking good early in this one with 8:21
good
to
program.
go.
This team finished in the Final Four in the nation last year.
Brubaker misses the shot. Randall tries to save it, and he can't. And the Vikings will bring Joe Williams back in, trailing by 8, 27-19.
Did we check the amount of air in that ball before the game started?
I am so tired of hearing about that.
It looked a little flat to me.
That has to be one of the most overblown stories in the history of sports.
Yeah, I know it. What did you think about that Super Bowl? I thought that was a pretty entertaining game.
Very good game, and I'm really glad the Patriots won. That took all the Deflategate talk away.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Here is Andre Scott off to Joe Williams. Now to Brad Hamilton. Hamilton, top of the key. Andre will try it outside. He hits a 3, and Andre Scott has 9 first-half points, 27-22.
And Andre breaks a scoring drought for the Vikings right there.
Now let's see if the Vikes can do it on the defensive end. Lannis back to Brubaker. He's taken one shot and missed it. 7:42 to go. Lannis, baseline, back to Brubaker. Fires it underneath. Nice wraparound pass. Boy, nice interior pass, and Hudson scores. Nice pass from Randall. 29-22.
Well, he's the show right now on offense for Mid-America. Great pass that time.
Hickey to Andre Scott. Andre puts it on the floor. He fakes the shot. Hooks it underneath the lane. Lane goes up off the
There
glass
we go.
and got
There
it.
we go.
James
That's that
Lane.
patented James Lane hook. Give him 6 points in the game.
Nice job by Andre Scott to get him the ball in position. 29-24, 7 minutes to go. These two teams both average 73 points a game. Brubaker, 15-footer, won't go. And the ball tipped out, but it comes to Andre Scott. 1-on-2. Andre's going to take it right side all the way. Puts it up. Lane goes for the stuff and missed it. Got to lay that thing in. Now here comes Randall. Nice pass and just a good 2-on-1 break, and Clark scores.
He and Clark passed that ball back and forth 3 times in about a blink of an eye that time, and Clark got the layup.
31-24. Now Big Joe underneath to Andre Scott, and he is being held by Hudson. That's the second foul on Hudson, and the sixth team foul now on the Pioneers.
That'll still be a non-shooting foul. The Vikes will be in the 1-and-1 after the next foul, but Jake Fletcher comes back in. Who's going to come out? Looks like Andre Scott will come out and take a seat. It'll be Viking ball underneath.
6:39 to go, 31-24. The Pioneers have led most of the way. Jake Fletcher into Joe Williams. Williams turns.
Attaboy, Joe.
Joe scores again. He has 4.
Joe went up strong that time, laid that one in.
Yep, good touch around the basket. Andrus to Launas, back to Andrus. Now Launas has the top of the key. Vikings playing a little zone defense now. As Andrus at the top of the circle. That's Payne Andrus. Cut off by Hickey. Work it in there, and there's Joe Williams with a steal. Gives it off to Brad Hamilton.
Joe showed quick feet that time, got into that passing lane. He got the steal on the post.
31-26, 5:59 to go. Hickey, double team, baseline, back out to Hamilton, bad pass. This one's picked off by Whalen. He goes in on Fletcher, scores and is fouled, and it'll count.
Yeah, good lead pass that time. They got Whalen ahead of the pack, and boy, he and Randall have been the story on offense for Mid-America. Randall with 10 points, Whalen with 8. So they've both got things going, and that'll be Jake Fletcher's second foul for the Vikings.
Whalen will be at the free throw line, and he will attempt to complete the three-point play, and I think the Viking bench has been given a warning there. Whalen at the line, trying to complete the three-point play. And it's on the way, and he got it. 34-26, a 8-point advantage for the Pioneers. Hickey, top of the key. Leaves it off for Hamilton, yet to score in this game. Hamilton now free throw line underneath the lane. Nice pass, and Lane scores. He has 8.
That's at least 3, maybe 4 assists for Brad Hamilton in the first half. He's doing a great job.
34-28, 5:29 to go. As once again, they will get the ball inside, and this one goes in. The Vikings have to do a better job inside the lane. As that was too easy, they got to Jordan. He laid it in, 36-28.
That was O'Shea Clark that made that pass.
Now it's Hamilton out front. Hamilton around the screen. Again, works it into Lane. Lane goes up strong, missed it, tipped in by Hickey. Kyle Hickey coming from the left side to get the tip in. His first bucket, 36-30, 5 minutes to go in the half.
Kyle timed his jump perfectly that time. Came off that left wing, nobody screened him out.
Well, the Pioneers have pretty much controlled this first half. They've got the basketball with the lead, 36-30. Free throw line, left-handed jumper is good. Boy, they're shooting a percentage. That's Jordan with it, 38-30. The other way, Hamilton for 3. It won't go. Hickey with a rebound. Drives in. Oh, man, he is hammered hard. Launas was there. Who else was in on the play? 2 or 3 of them. Jordan was there. 2 shots coming for Kyle Hickey.
I believe they called, I think they called that foul on Launas, didn't they?
Yep, Launas' first foul. That's a 7th team foul. Vikings still have 1 to give. 4:34 to go, 38-30. The Pioneers won the first game of the season series.
Come on, Kyle, we need a couple right here.
First one is no good, and the Vikings are 1 out of 6.
Do you know who that player is walking up into the stands over there? She just sat down on the far side. Well, I was going to say, you missed her. She just walked in. You can't miss her. That was Jasmine Webb.
With the hair.
Yeah.
1 out of 6 from the line. Make that one. That's Hickey. And it's 38-31. Hickey will come out now.
You know, you never like to be behind in a game, but quite honestly, this Viking team is normally a second-half team. They have been most of the year.
Usually play better in the second half after they figure a few things out. Here's the lob underneath, and Launis was expecting, I don't know what he was expecting, and Brubaker threw it about 6 feet over his head for a turnover. 38-31, and now Rocky Lamar wants it. He wanted a timeout, didn't get it. The Vikings already had the ball in play.
He doesn't like, he's mad about something. Maybe that pass. Looks like MidAm in a zone right now.
Yep, they're playing a little zone defense here. Let's see how the Vikings handle this. 4:11 to go. Brad Hamilton comes to the wing. They lob it baseline to Robbie Burton. In the lane, James can't hit it.
He's got to hit that shot.
Yeah, he does. That was about 3 feet away. Whalen with it. Whalen's going to take it all the way. Now he throws it out of bounds. Viking ball. Tried to split a double team and threw it away. Yeah, you're right. James Lane, that's one you've got to have. You get a nice pass in there close to the basket. That hit that one.
Yeah, and James usually has a very nice soft touch around the bucket. I'm not sure what happened that time.
38-31. Brody Thompson off to Hamilton. Hamilton back to Andre. He'll try another three. This one won't go. And the rebound is pulled down. One shot. Here's Brubaker the other way. Brubaker off to Launis. Launis starts to work baseline. Now back to Brubaker in the corner. Misses the shot. The rebound goes out. Last touch by Brody Thompson.
You know, Launis has been pretty quiet since early on. He scored, early on he does have 11 points in the game. No, is it 11? Yeah, 3 and 9 points in the game, but he has not scored for quite a while.
Launis will inbound the ball. It's 38-31. As Mid-America Nazarene is pretty much dominated. Here's the pass. They try to lob it into Randall, and Burton got a hand on it. Brody Thompson took it away. Now Hamilton with it. Brad goes underneath the Burton. Robbie, short jumper good inside the lane. Another assist by Hamilton. And the Vikes back within 5, 38-33, 3:16 to go.
Robbie's had a good first half, 9 points for him.
Brubaker.
Now Vikes in his zone.
Off to Jordan. Back out to Brubaker. He'll back away. Now Launis will come to the point. 3 minutes to go. 19 on the shot clock. Launis steps through traffic. Lobs it up for Randall. Randall again. And boy, the Vikings just let him get in the lane, and he has a dozen. 40-33.
Boy, they're doing a good job passing that ball from one guy in the lane to another guy in the lane.
Vikings off to Brody Thompson. Brody against their zone. 2:40 to go. Andre puts up the jump shot from the outside. Got it again. Now that's a 2, but Andre Scott keeping the Vikings in the game. He has 11. 40-35. 2:29 to go. Randall way out high. Keep him out there. Now Launis. Back it comes to Brubaker. Whalen in the corner. Drive. Looks baseline to Jordan. Jordan kicks it across. Launis open baseline. High arching shot won't go. Rebound Hamilton. Hamilton off to Brody Thompson. Brings it to the middle of the floor. Almost walked with it. Now he throws it away. Picked up by Whalen. Whalen takes it in behind the back and traveled. No basket. Good job by Hamilton. He jumped right in front of Whalen as he tried to dribble behind the back, pick the ball up.
Now in the NBA, that behind the back looks so good, they'd let that go, but he did walk. That was nice defense that time by Vikings. And who was that, Hamilton, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, Brad got into the lane and bothered him just a little bit, and Whalen got it stuck on his hip. Good
2 minutes to go. Vikes down by 5. They have trailed by as many as 9. Andre Scott fires a pass inside to Burton. Robbie baseline throws up a wild shot and a foul on Lane.
I don't know what Robbie was doing. He didn't really square up, just kind of slung it up that time.
Vikings had a chance to cut it to 3 and just did not take a very good shot.
Well, I'm sure as they've done so many times, the Vikes will adjust at halftime and come out and be a. We were down here 17 points at halftime to Peru State. Came back and won, I think, by close to 10.
Yep. All right, Brubaker will bring it up. 1:50 to go in the first half. A first half really controlled by the Pioneers. They lead at 40-35. Brubaker top of the key. Vikings back in a man-to-man defense. Brubaker will back away. Now he's going to try to take Kyle Hickey to the inside the lane, and he fouled him. So Hickey picks up a foul, and that'll put Brubaker at the line.
Well, Brubaker, 21 points in the game we played up at Olathe, has yet to score here in the first half, so the Vikes have done a pretty good job on him.
The Pioneers are 3 out of 3 from the line. make it 4 out of 4, and the Vikings just about the opposite. They've only hit 2 out of 7.
I knew if I said he had scored, he was a lock to hit that free throw.
And it'll be Alexander Zivkovic comes in.
He's got pretty good hairdo. He got pretty good hairdo himself there.
6'10" junior. Second one by Brubaker off the front of the rim, no good. Burton with a rebound, so they get 1 out of 2.
Zivkovic from Belgrade, Serbia.
Vikings down by 6 with 1:28 to go. Lane will try a 3. That was way off the mark. Rebound Hickey, however, and the Vikings get a fresh 35 on the shot clock. Back it comes to Andre Scott. Scott out front to Hickey. 1:13 to go. James Lane, top of the key, Andre. He's going to drive through traffic, off the glass and scores. And Andre Scott with 13. It's a 4-point game, 41-37, 1 minute to go.
Seen Andre play a lot like that. He was an All-American in Wentworth Academy 2 years ago, Wentworth College, and really had some big nights over there.
Lannis with the basketball. His team up by 4. Brubaker, high post, Zivkovic. Back to Brubaker, into the corner, a 3 on the way, and it's good. The Vikings did not guard Gordon. Jordy knocked it down, 44-37. This team has to be shooting well over 50%.
Yeah, they moved the ball well. They got a lot of good looks.
Hamilton into Burton. His turnaround is good. Robbie has 11. Another assist for Brad Hamilton. 44-39. The Pioneers will have the lead because they're going to take the last shot of the half. And Lannis will hold it. Well, they are shooting a tremendous percentage here in the first half. Zivkovic. Now they'll work it baseline to Lannis. Lannis underneath Zivkovic. Back to Lannis. A nice pass to Whalen. And boy, they're just eating the Vikings up inside.
Moving very well without the ball, and their passers are finding the open man.
46-39. That was an impressive first half of basketball by the Pioneers. We'll be back and take a look at the women's scores, the scoring of this game, and more. It's all coming up.
My name is Tom Thornton.
And my name is Cindy Thornton. We've been married 38 years. We're retired, and this is how we live united.
We play golf and we travel, but we also decided we were going to give to and volunteer with United Way at our community free health clinic.
I do the nursing at the clinic.
I work the front office, checking in patients, greeting them, making them feel comfortable.
United Way is how we contribute, because we know our time and money are going to the right places, the places that need it most and implement it best.
Judging by the thank yous we get at the clinic, I'd say we're doing the right thing with our retirement too.
We even get a few bless yous. It's incredible.
We're Tom and Cindy Thornton. We volunteer at our community free health clinic, so we don't just wear the shirt.
We live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Well, we'll get to the scoring in just a moment, but I look across the way, Joe, and Ed Leslie's here today, longtime math student and math professor. He and Wendy are here. Ed, of course, suffered from a stroke and not teaching anymore, but he is in the building. And
where is Ed sitting?
Right down on the floor there. Right down
there
on
he
the floor.
is. Yeah, okay.
Brett Holt, the director of volleyball operations, over talking to he and Wendy. So good to see him on this nice day to come to the Burns Gymnasium. He kept score for the men's games for, gosh, probably 40 years.
He did, and he took it very seriously, always did a good job, and you always knew that score was going to be right. And you talk about Mr. Viking. I don't know anybody that is more deserving of that honor than Ed Leslie.
Yeah, and of course, if you've ever been to a Valley football game, he was the one that had the old card go up down the sideline after the Vikings score. And a student here, a math professor, and now he's getting a hug from Michael Barnes, all-conference football player who's a senior this year. So good to see Dr. Leslie in the house today. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll have the scoring of this first half.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions, brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. My student loan is totally paid off.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either. I paid more than the minimum each month, and soon enough, it was gone.
So you're just giving up?
Giving up on what?
The life of luxury. Egyptian cotton, caviar Thursdays, designer everything.
What are you talking about?
Our plan. What happened to winning the lottery and mastering the art of the perfect mimosa? Hosting galas, wearing enough jewelry to require a bodyguard, vacationing in the French Riviera, and then buying it.
I just thought maybe it was time to prepare for my future. You know, set some financial goals, make some smart investments, open a 401k.
Financial goals? Investments? A 401k? You are horrifying right now. Listen, if winning the lottery were easy, everyone would do it.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
All right, let's take a look at the scoring. And, Joe, I guess the stat of the day in this first half is 63% shooting. 63% shooting for the Pioneers.
Well, and you know, I mean, it isn't like they were on fire from the outside either. They moved that ball around very well. They did a super job hitting the open man, running the floor, and they really They were 20 out of 32. They only took 6 shots from beyond the arc, hit 2 of those, but really about as good a job of interior passing as you're going to see.
Yeah. So they shot 62%. The Vikings not bad, 18 out of 38, 47%.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You take that most games.
But from the free throw line, Valley only 2 out of 7, and 4 out of 5 with the Pioneers. Let's see, rebounding in this game, pretty even, 19 to 17 Pioneers there. But you shoot 20 out of 32. You're going to be ahead most halves.
Well, looking at the individual scoring for the Vikings, 2 players in double figures. Andre Scott. Andre had a good game from the outside. Andre led the way with 13 points in the half. 11 points for Ravi Burton. Ravi very active on the inside. 8 points for James Lane in the half. 4 points for Joe Williams off the bench. Big Joe did a good job. And 3 points for Kyle Hickey. For Mid-America, pretty good balanced scoring. Justin Randall led the way with 12 points, 11 for Jordan Whalen off the bench. He gave him a real lift. 9 points for Nate Lannis, their normal leading scorer. 7 points for Gabriel Jordan. And it looks like 2 points each for Hudson Welty. Also, Andres Payne, or Payne Andres, I guess it is, and O'Shea Clark. They all had 2, and then 1 free throw by Cale Brubaker.
But, boy, that 63% just stands out at you. So, good first half for these Pioneers. They're trying to win their 4th game in a row as they come in right now. They're 5-6, and they are tied with Culver at that position. Avila 6-6 after their win the overnight over Graceland, 91-70. So trying to get into that spot as well. But still a lot of basketball to be played. When we come back, we'll go back to that women's game. Talk about the women's scores and check these standings now on the women's side because all those scores are in. We'll do that in just a minute.
Barbecue. Today, my new son and I threw a barbecue.
There were burgers and chicken.
I burnt everything. The burgers, the chicken, the salad.
They were delicious.
They were awful.
And then we had watermelon.
I'm allergic to watermelon.
And then we played catch.
I broke Mr. Lewis's window, Mrs. Wakeham's window, Mrs. Wakeham's windshield, and then somehow my hand. My hand!
And then my dad even let me drive his car.
The hospital's on the right! It was a rough day.
It was a great day.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. Every child deserves to have access to books because children who grow up with books invariably do better in life than children who do not. How do I choose a book? Is it the cover? Yes, I guess, sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual, so it's a combination of those two. The first book I remember was Captain's Courageous. When I finished that book, I had become so involved with these characters. So here's the thing. If a book's really, really impressing me and the writing is really, really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is. Because the endings of books, if it's really, really well done, that ending, that last thought should rock you. I am a book person. And if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Well, the women lost a tough one today. The final score there was 71-68. We went over the scoring. For the game, Mid-American Nazarene shot 51%. Pretty good shooting.
Yeah.
And the Vikings shot 38%. So that was a big key there. Free throw line. Vikings did well in the first half, but for the game, 18 out of 24, just 8 out of 16 for the Pioneers. But boy, you shoot 51%, and they got the ball, Joe, to the two. When the game was on the line, they got the ball to number 45 and number 10, Daria Sprue and Megan Balcom. Really took over, and those two gals both played well over 30 minutes.
You know, and the Vikings got within one on several occasions, spent a good part of the second half within three, just could not get a big bucket or could not get a big stop when we had the chance to take the lead. And that give credit to Mid-America. They just wouldn't let that happen. But, boy, you look at the way the women shot, look at the way the Mid-America men are shooting here in the first half. They're going to want to come here and play all their home games if we don't.
Oh, yeah.
They don't watch it.
And rebounding, as you might expect with that big team, Mid-American Nazarene had an 8-rebound lead, 41-33 over the Vikings. So here's what happened today on the women's side. Benedictine knocked off Central Methodist 64-51. It was Peru over Avila, 65-61. Culver beat Evangel 62-58 in Canton. Vikings lost to Mid-American Nazarene, and then it was Baker at home over Graceland, 80-64. So after today, Mid-American Nazarene and Benedictine both 11-1. They're starting to pull away, Joe. Those two teams are pretty much starting to pull away from everybody. Culver's 8-4. They're alone in third place then. Valley tied for fourth with Baker, both 7-5. Then you go 3 games behind that. Evangel is 4-8. And then Graceland 4-9. And then you have Central Methodist 3-9. Avila and Central Methodist and Peru State both 3-9, and Avila dropped down to 3-10 now. So
well, we're finished with Mid-America. We don't play them anymore, but the ladies still have Benedictine and Culver, the other two teams. They're battling for some position in that top 4 in the standings, and Baker. So of the 4 other teams that we're battling for those top 4 spots, we still have games with 3 of them left. We have to go on the road to Baker, but we have Benedictine at home. We have to go on the road to Culver. So 2 of them on the road and 1 of them here.
Yeah, and that road trip starts on Thursday. We'll go to Kansas City for Avila. Saturday, that long trip to Peru. That was supposed to be a home game, but because of some water problems early in the year, we switched that. And then a week from Thursday, we go to Culver, and then we'll have a couple of home games. But this is a tough part of the schedule for both the men and women.
You know, I've dreamed of a lot of places where I might spend Valentine's Day, but I've got to say Peru, Nebraska never came into my mindset.
And that's where that's where it is going to be. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're just about ready for the second half. By the way, before we do that, let's take a look at the men's standings going in. Evangel has that 1-game lead. They're 9-2. Benedictine and Valley both 8-3, but the Vikings losing here today. Central 6-5, Peru 6-5, Avila 6-6. Now, how about the way they've come on, huh?
Avila, they beat. They got that big win against. Was it Benedictine last week?
Yeah.
They beat Benedictine on the road in Benedictine, and I think Benedictine's lost 3 games, and I think they've lost all 3 games at home.
Yeah.
I know Peru beat him at home, Avila beat him at home, and I think maybe Evangel. No, they beat Evangel, didn't they?
Yeah, they beat Evangel.
Somebody else, I think, beat him at home, but I'm not sure.
So they are 6-6. Culver 5-6. And Culver today playing Evangel, so that's a big game in Canton. The Mid-America team 5-6, so you know what they're thinking. Let's get a win here and move above them. Graceland is 2-10, and Baker coming in 1-10.
Well, you know, the postseason tournament, especially on the men's side, I think the women, you can tell a little more difference between the top and the bottom than you can on the men. But in that men's postseason tournament, there could be a lot of surprise games in that tournament.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We get there, and a lot of basketball, a lot of movement before we get there. We'll take our final break. When we come back, second half, Mid-America leads it 46-39.
Can you tell if the surfaces in this kitchen are crawling with bacteria that could cause chronic arthritis? Listen, You can't see it either. Wash surfaces, utensils, and hands frequently with soapy water while preparing food, especially when handling raw meats or eggs. Raw food may contain bacteria that can make you very sick, or worse. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year, and roughly 3,000 will die. But you can keep your family safer by cleaning with soap and water as you go. Learn more about this and other important information. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. That's foodsafety.gov. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Confessions of a Potentially Perfect Parent, brought to you by AdoptUsKids.org.
I might look like an adult, like a person who could possibly be a parent, but I have no idea how to talk like one. And everyone knows that if you want to be a parent, you have to sound good when you say things like, "Don't make me turn this car around," or "because I said so," or "Don't make me come back there." I don't even really know what those things mean, but I know that I actually believed my parents when they said them to me. How did they manage to sound so convincing? Here we go. "Don't make me come back there." Ugh, no, that's not tough enough at all. Kids can sense weakness. "Don't make me come back there." Ooh, yeah, that's better. In fact, that kind of sounded like my dad. Weird.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to listen to you practice your dad voice. Call 1-888-200-4005 or visit AdoptUsKids.org for more information. This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
Well, I didn't do a very good job there, Joe, getting the Vikings rolling in the first half. Let's see what you can do in the second half.
But again, we've talked about it before. Who knows? But this Viking team to date has been a pretty good second half team, especially here at home. So let's hope we can get that momentum built back up here in the second half. We're down right now by 7, 46-39, as the two teams huddled in front of their respective coaches, and just have to, you know, like you say, Mid-America, not a team that's been hot from the outside. They've just done an excellent job of moving the ball in the middle and getting a lot of open shots at point-blank range.
Well, you say we're a better second-half team. We've scored 100 more points in the second half than we have in the first half.
Have we really? Yeah.
717 in the first half and 817
That's not
in the
surprising
second half.
to me. I know. Yeah, well, let's see if we can do it one more time. We really need to get this win today because the next 3 games are all on the road. This Thursday we go to Avila, next Saturday Peru State, and then a week from Thursday on the road at Culver Stockton before we come back here in 2 weeks to take on Benedictines. All right, for the Vikings, it's James Lane, Byron Cook, Brad Hamilton, Ravi Burton, Andre Scott, the original starting lineup. Vikes get the ball to start the second half. Scott head of the key. Andre a big first half as he had 11 points. Gets it out to Byron Cook. Cook around a screen picked up by Welty. Now he gets it over to Hamilton. Brad gives it back to Scott as the Vikings run that little weave outside. Wraparound pass into Ravi Burton. They're going to call a foul, I believe, on Hudson Welty as he grabbed hold of Ravi Burton down low. If that's the case, that'll be his third foul. Third foul on Hudson Welty. That'll be a non-shooting foul to be Viking ball out of bounds. Cook outside. Byron tried to whip it inside, threw it away, taken away by Jordan. Lannis into the corner to Brubaker. Now Brubaker brings it outside. He'll set the offense for Mid-America beyond the arc. Man-to-man defense by the Vikings. Justin Randall gives it outside to Jordan. Gabriel Jordan backs it out between the circles. 16 on the shot clock. There's that little weave that time by MidAm. Head of the key to Welty. Welty back to Brubaker. Down to 7 on the shot clock. Lannis going to have to shoot it quick. Brubaker with a 3. Got it. Cale Brubaker, that's his first bucket of the game. He had 1 free throw in the first half. He drains a 3. It's a 10-point Mid-America lead to start the second half.
I believe that's the largest lead of the ball game.
Yeah, I believe it is. First double-digit lead by either team. James Lane. James thinks about a 3, now gives it back to Scott. Andre dribbles to the baseline, and he's fouled. As Andre took it down to the left side, fouled by Gabriel Jordan. That's Jordan's first foul. That, again, is a non-shooting foul. That's the second team foul at the half against Mid-America. Vikes to inbound under their own bucket. They lob it out around midcourt. James Lane catches the pass. Now he'll set the offense. Right wing to Andre. Andre left-hand dribble just outside the free throw line. Wrap around into Ravi. Ravi had it stripped, had it taken away in there. MidAm quickly into the forecourt. Lannis now slows it down out right in front of the MidAm bench. Lob down low toward Nelson, knocked away by Scott, but Nelson gets it back. Nelson down low, goes over the top of Robbie Burton and knocks it down. And boy, this team continues to start the second half where they left off at the end of the first half. They've scored the first 5 points of the game, a 3 by Brubaker. That jump shot right there, not Nelson. I said Nelson, I meant Justin Randall. So it's a 5-0 run to start the second half. The Vikings down by 12.
I tell you what, this is a well-coached team we're playing today. I don't know, and they're trying to fight back to the 500 mark in conference play. They look pretty good to me.
Yeah, they've won 3 games in a row, and I asked Coach Lamar before the game about that game at Graceland 2 weeks ago. They trailed 39-33 at halftime, came out and scored 70 points in the second half. That's almost unfathomable. Or whatever, however you pronounce it.
It was, but they did it. I can see how if you let them get inside and they get hot from the outside, and they're really playing some good defense too.
All right, Viking ball. Vikings down 51-39, still looking for the. There's a block outside, as I think they're going to call that on Welty. If that's foul on Hudson Welty, that'll be his 4th foul. That's who they call it on. So Hudson Welty picks up personal foul number 4. He'll come out of the game, and coming into the lineup will be Jordan Whalen. Boy, Whalen gave MidAm a big lift in the first half. He had 11 points off the bench.
Vikings looking for their first points. We're 2 minutes into the second half.
Lane gets it out to Byron Cook. Byron will set the offense. Now left wing, Scott guarded by Whalen. Head of the key, Brad Hamilton. Brad wraparound pass to Lane. There's that hook, missed it. Rebound, offensive rebound by Big Joe, and Big Joe somehow slipped into the lineup and also slipped into the lane to get that offensive rebound. So good hustle by Joe that time. That foul comes up on Justin Randall. Again, that's a non-shooting foul, but that's the 4th team foul against MidAm here to start the second half. Now Joe runs it down, gets it back outside to Andre. Vikes set up against the man-to-man defense. Hamilton, Brad Hamilton. Brad did not score in the first half. Scott around the screen, picked up by Welty. Now comes back the other direction. Andre wrap around down to Lane. Lane double team, now has it taken away by Welty. Vikes just not real sharp on offense right now.
Now he tried to dribble through a triple team, and you're going to lose the ball most of the time.
Brubaker down the middle, gets it to the line. It's had it swatted. I think James Lane got a piece of that. Lane or Burton, or Lane or Williams, one of the two. Now Hamilton tries it behind the back. Almost lost it, gets it back to Andre Scott. His fall-away jumper misses. And the rebound comes away to Jordan. Quickly into the forecourt to Whalen. Whalen drives in, up and in, basket and one. As they get the ball ahead to Jordan Whalen. Jordan beats the pack down the floor, and he's fouled by Brad Hamilton. And Whalen will go to the line for a chance to complete the three-point play with 17:08 left to play in the game.
Well, in the first half, Hamilton did that, and he forced him to miss the layup. It didn't happen this time. And, boy, I'll tell you what, Mid-American Nazarene is on a roll.
Jordan Whalen puts up the free throw. He missed it. That's about the only thing wrong he's done all day. He has 13 points. His lead is 14, 53-39. His Vikes need a bucket here. Cook outside, left wing to Hamilton. Hamilton head of the key to Big Joe. Big Joe wrap around inside the lane. Lane tried to get it to Byron Cook. Cook streaking down the right side. They tried to get a return pass to Byron. Wouldn't work. They throw it out of bounds, and he's going to take a seat. Kyle Hickey comes back into the Missouri Valley lineup.
Vikings 3 minutes and 10 seconds in the second half. Still have not scored.
16 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in this one. Brubaker brings it across the timeline against the Viking man-to-man defense. Kyle Hickey picks him up. Now they get it in the right corner to Whalen. Whalen backs it out to Brubaker. Vikes in that zone now, looks like. They thought they were in a man-to-man, but they're still in that zone. Looks like some type of a 1-2-2 zone. Right wing, Whalen. Whalen into the paint. Almost walked. Outside a deep three by Randall. No good. Nice rebound, Andre Scott. Good screen out by Joe Williams. Joe pretty well cleared the lane out on that screen out. Now Joe goes inside. Joe gets a pass from Andre Scott, takes it right down the right side, and Big Joe goes in strong as he does so many times, and he draws the two-shot foul.
Rice going to shoot free throws for a long time this afternoon because that's a 15 foul already.
That's foul number 3 on Justin Randall, so he has 3. Hudson Welty has 4. Chris Parker has 3, so MidAm getting into a little bit of foul trouble. Big Joe misses the first free throw, so he'll have one more as Nelson's going to take a seat and checking into the lineup, Alexander Zivkovic. Or is it Zivkovic? Zivkovic.
Zivkovic.
And William Big Joe knocks down the second free throw, so he gets 1 out of 2. The lead is 13 for Mid-America. In the corner, Launis fakes a 3. Gets James Lane off his feet. Now gets it back into the corner again. Comes around a screen on the baseline. Now pulls up for about a 16-foot jumper and knocks it down. So Nate Launis, he's now in double figures with 11 as he hits his first shot of the second half to extend the lead to 15. Biggest lead of the game for Mid-America. Andre Scott. Oh, Andre tried to hit James Lane, hit James right in the face with a pass. And boy, just nothing going right for the Vikings on offense right now, Ken.
Nothing at all, and you got to give a lot of credit to Mid-America. They've come in here with a game plan, and they are executing it to perfection.
55-40 right now. The Pioneers on top. 15 minutes, 39 seconds left to play in the game. So Vikes, first things first, need a stop right here. Brubaker gets it over to Launis. Launis holds the ball, guarded by Hamilton, gets it head of the key to Jordan. Right wing to Brubaker. Now a foul underneath, and I think they're going to call Joe Williams. They're going to say Joe holding on to Zivkovic down there. So Joe Williams picks up his first foul. It'll be a non-shooting foul, and that's the second team foul of the half against the Vikings. Hamilton, Hickey, Joe Williams, Brody Thompson, James Lane, the 5 on the floor for the Vikings right now. Coach Chad Lance trying to find some combination that can get this juggernaut slowed down right now. And shot missed. Rebound by Hickey. Here come the Vikings on the run. Hamilton across the timeline. Brad bounce pass to Big Joe. Joe outside to Brody. Good ball movement into the corner. Hickey out of the corner. No good. Rebound Jordan had it knocked away. Lane gets it and lays it in. Good hustle that time on the glass. Somebody knocked it away. James Lane picked it up. He laid it in. He's got 10 points. Lead down to 13. Vikes need to get stops here, Ken.
Yes, they do. 14:46 to go. That was the first basket of the second half.
Brubaker to Jordan. Jordan guarded by Hickey. Gets it outside to Whalen. Whalen tries to set the offense with 14 on the shot clock. Launis outside guarded by Lane. Brubaker goes down the middle. Throws up a runner. Missed it. Offensive rebound. Zivkovic, and knocked out of bounds. I think the Vikings knocked the ball out of bounds, so Mid-America will keep it under their own bucket with 14 minutes, 27 seconds left to play in the game.
Zivkovic and Joe Williams having quite a battle in there.
Yeah.
Lane will come out. Jordan Bowling is in.
Couple of big raw-boned physical players. Now they get it into Launis. He backs it out to Whalen, almost walked, throws up a runner in the lane. Why not? Everything else is going in right now. I mean, off balance that time, Jordan Whalen, everything they throw up is going in right now.
Whalen averaging 6.9 points a game. He's in double figures.
Yeah, he's got 15. Now Hamilton around the screen. Foul by Zivkovic, no call. Outside Brody. Brody wrap around into Jordan Bowling. Jordan got a hand on it, had it knocked away, knocked out of bounds by Mid-America. So Chris Parker comes back into the Mid-America lineup. Robbie Burton gets set to check back in for the Vikings. Big Joe takes a seat. Brody Thompson will inbound for the Vikings under their own bucket, trailing by 15. Oh, nice pass into Bowling. Nice spin move by Jordan. He missed the layup.
Missed a wide open layup.
Jordan Bowling, a nice spin move, cleared some space, was wide open. It's just been one of those days, folks, so far. Vikes now back in the man-to-man. Brubeck to Zivkovic. Down low. Whalen underneath. Blocked by Hickey. Whalen gets it back. Hickey blocks it again. Now Mid-America retains it. Parker a 3, and that's good. Wow. Chris Parker drains a 3 right in front of the Mid-America bench, and it's an 18-point MidAm lead. Hickey wrap around to Bowling. Bowling in the corner to Brody. Brody against the man defense. Hickey around the screen. Down in the corner to Brody. Brody, nice pass into Robbie. Robbie missed a layup. Boy, everything going wrong for the Vikings right now. Now Brody Thompson whacks it out of bounds. Jordan Bowling missed a wide open layup, and now Robbie Burton misses a wide open layup. And it's just one of those days so far for the Vikings. The Vikings only one basket and one free throw here in the second half.
7 minutes into the second half with 3 points.
Yep.
That pretty much tells it all.
Yep. And a couple of point-blank shots missed there in the last minute and a half. Parker, head of the key to Randall. Randall to Payne Andrus, who's in the lineup. Now Parker traveled. Did they call? Yeah, they got it. That time, Chris Parker. Parker hit that three just a minute ago, but that time a little bit too quick on the takeoff. Shuffled both feet. Ball back to the Vikings. 12 minutes and 50 seconds left to play. 60-42. MidAm leads here on the road. Brody Thompson, Jordan Bowling, Jake Fletcher, Kyle Hickey, Robbie Burton, the 5 on the floor for the Vikings. And now they're going to call a holding foul on Jordan Whalen as he reaches out and grabs hold of Kyle Hickey. So Whalen picks up his first foul. And that's team foul number 6. So from this point on, 12 minutes and 43 seconds left in the game. The Vikings will be shooting a 1-and-1. Thompson, Brody on the right wing to Fletch. Fletch gets it head of the key to Bowling. Bowling wrap around to Andre Scott. Andre gives to Brody. 26 seconds on the shot clock, plenty of time. Brody down low to Bowling. Jordan spins inside, throws it up. They say he traveled. Wow, thought Jordan Bowling, maybe that was going to be a foul, maybe a chance for a three-point play. Jordan hit the basket, but Gene Millentree, one of the officials, said he shuffled his feet. Now pressure by the Vikings. Andrus gets it across for MidAm. 12:20 left to play. Vikes need to make a run here pretty quickly. Wrap around to Randall. Randall backs in on Burton, back to Whalen. Now Whalen runs over. Nice job that time as Jordan Bowling steps into the lane, and Jordan Whalen runs right over Jordan Bowling. So one Jordan flattens another one. Jordan Bowling gets the benefit of the call. Nice defense by him. Offensive foul, Mid-America. 60-42. Vikings trail here at home. Andre Scott outside, gets it in the corner to Fletcher. Fletch backs it out, gives it head of the key, Bowling. Vikes need a bucket here. Fletcher comes around a picked up by Randall. Left wing, Scott, back to Fletch. Fletch launches a three, got it. So Jake Fletcher, who nailed 3 triples in the second half last Saturday against Graceland, knocks one down, and now I guess the Brody Thompson
stole the inbounds pass and was fouled.
Brody Thompson steals the inbounds pass, and he's fouled. So a couple of guys coming off the bench. Jake Fletcher knocks down a big 3, and now Brody Thompson gets a big steal, and Coach Rocky Lamar of Mid-America wants a timeout. So with 11 minutes and 44 seconds on the floor, still an uphill battle, but the Vikes have trimmed the lead to 15.
Yeah, again, just only 6 points so far in the second half, but who knows, plenty of time if they can get something off this possession, get that thing down around 10 points, and then go to work. They have plenty of time, but right now, they're just shooting a poor percentage right now. That's probably more than anything else in the second half. The first half, it was the fact that the Pioneers were red hot. I think in this half, it's more the Vikings are just ice cold.
Well, Ken, if I'm not mistaken, I don't believe the Vikings have lost a conference game at home here this year, have they? I think everything, let's see, they beat Graceland, they beat Avila, they beat Peru State, they beat Culver Stockton, they beat Baker, and they beat Central Methodist. So they have a perfect conference record at home, but they've got to get something going here in the second half, as right now it's Peru State on top, 60-45 with 11 minutes, 44 seconds left to play in the game.
All right, let's see. Brody Thompson will be at the free throw line.
So Brody got that steal on the inbounds pass. He'll be in line for a 1-and-1. The Vikes in the bonus right now, and Brody misses the front end of the 1-and-1, but knocked out of bounds by the Vikings, so MidAm gets it back. So the Vikes lose the golden opportunity right there to chip into this 15-point lead.
Joe, 3 out of 10 from the free throw line.
Yeah, that's not,
you
doesn't cut it.
That doesn't cut it. 3 out of 10.
Nope. Vikes put the press on. Payne Andrus gets around Burton in midcourt. Now they're going to say Ravi caught him with the body. So Ravi Burton will pick up, I believe, his first foul as Ravi bumps into Payne Andrus against the press. So non-shooting foul, that's only the 3rd team foul against the Vikings as compared to 8 for Mid-America here in the second half. Randall hands it outside to Nate Lannis. Now Andrus sets the offense. 11.5 minutes left to play. Randall back to Lannis. Vikes need a stop here in the worst way. Lannis almost loses it. And it looks like maybe Mid-America content to try to run some clock right now, down to 15 on the shot clock.
Yeah, they could really shorten this game on these possessions.
Now Parker almost walked, gets it back to Andres. Andres to the baseline, goes around Ravi. 5 on the shot clock, and they're going to call an offensive foul that time. As that time, Jordan Whalen sticks an elbow up, and he runs over Jake Fletcher. So that's an offensive foul, I believe, on Whalen. That'll be his 3rd foul. So that's team foul number 9. So from this point on, anything that's a non-player control will be a 2-shot foul for the Vikings.
All right, Vikes have plenty of time, down by 15. We played 9 minutes of the second half.
All right, Vikes need to get a run right here. Thompson wrap around into Burton. Ravi puts up a hook, no good. Battle for the loose ball, and boy, another point-blank shot missed. Ravi Burton about 4 feet away, could not get that one to drop, and Mid-America comes away with the ball once again. High post to Randall, back to Lannis, right wing to Brubaker. Brubaker down low. There's a jump shot by Randall, misses. Rebound, James Lane. Fletcher quickly across the timeline. Fletch into the corner, jump shot by Lane. Missed this one. Andre Scott. Oh, they say Andre the last to hit it. Andre in good position to get that offensive rebound, but they say the ball bounced off his hands out of bounds, so it'll go back to Mid-America as Brad Hamilton comes back in for the Vikings. Jake Fletcher takes a seat. 60-45, Mid-America's led. Now Andre Scott gets a steal in midcourt. Andre drives in and lays it in. So Andre Scott that time picks the pocket of Cale Brubaker. Andre with 13 points in the game. Vikes apply the pressure. One more time on defense. Now Lannis. Lannis almost loses it. Gets it ahead to Brubaker. Now to Randall. Down low Parker. Back to Randall, and Randall stuffs it home. So as they did so many times in the first half, great interior passing by Mid-America. Randall gets the dunk. That's his 3rd dunk of the game, I believe. There's a 3 by Brody Thompson, comes up short. Offensive rebound, James Lane, though, and James brings it back out to set the offense. Andre Scott. Scott around a pick. Now taken away. Ball taken away by Parker. Parker up over Scott. Missed it, but he's fouled. As of that time, Chris Parker picked the pocket of Andre Scott, took it the length of the floor, missed the shot, but he's going to be on the line for 2 shots as Andre Scott picks up his 2nd foul.
Joe, I don't have the number of shots, but for the first 10 minutes of the second half, the Vikings shooting 22%.
Wow. Yep, not very good. A lot of those shots have been inside the paint. Parker knocks down the first free throw, give him 4 points in the game, and he'll have one more. He'll try to extend the lead up to 17 points. Parker will have one more right here. The left-hander Parker knocks down both free throws. He's a junior guard out of Kansas City, Kansas. And he'll come out and coming back into the Mid-America lineup, not Gabriel Jordan, O'Shea Clark. So Vikes bring it the other way, down by 17, under 10 minutes to go in the half. There's a 3 by Hamilton. This one misses. Brad Hamilton has yet to score in the game. Clark almost had it taken away, now gets it back. Just one of those things where the ball seems to be bouncing Mid-America's way every time.
Just right there, they knock it away, but it came right back to Clark. But
Clark sets up, guarded by Kyle Hickey. Gets it head of the key to Randall. Now Lannis posts up, missed the shot. Nice rebound, Brad Hamilton. Here come the Vikings. Hamilton down the lane. Lob pass inside. And a beautiful pass by Brad Hamilton. He puts it up around the rim. James Lane goes up and gets it, stuffs it in the basket. Maybe that'll get this crowd excited. Maybe it'll get the Vikings excited.
Gonna have to work at 8:47 to go. A long way to go, but plenty of time.
Down by 15. Vikes need to get stops on defense. Brubaker hands to Clark. Clark goes around Hickey with a left-hand dribble. Now back outside. Randall the jump shot. Got it. So Justin Randall knocks down another one. He's had a good game. He's got 18 points in the game. The lead back up to 17. And now underneath we've got a holding foul. And that's going to come up, I believe, on Brubaker. That'll be a holding foul on Cale Brubaker. That'll be his. Or did they call that on? I think they called that on Brubaker, didn't they? I thought they did too. Yeah, they did. And that'll put Byron Cook on the line in a double bonus time, as that's the 10th team foul against Mid-America. Cook's first shot, missed it. Boy, the Vikes having a horrendous day at the free throw line. What's that, 3 out of 11?
3 out of 11.
Cook will have one more as he'll try to trim into this 17-point lead. Byron Cook got the second one, got the roll. Byron again is a freshman out of Fort Worth, Texas. That's his first point of the game. It's a 16-point lead for MidAm. Now Brubaker comes around a pick, gets it outside to Clark. Now it gets a return handoff. Brubaker guarded outside by Byron Cook. Vikes need to step the pressure up a little bit on defense. Bounces it right wing to Hudson Welty. Jump shot by Randall, no good. Rebound James Lane. James skies to get that rebound. Quickly ahead comes Cook into the forecourt. Lane for three. Got it. James Lane knocks down a three for the Vikings. Lane's got 17, the lead down to 13, so we need a couple more of those, Ken.
Yeah, a couple stops and a couple big threes, and let's get right back in this game.
Outside Brubaker. Vikes in that man-to-man defense. Remember that movie, Brubaker? Did you ever see that movie? It had Robert Redford in it. All right, now there's a foul down low, and I think they're going to say that Joe Williams, I believe, grabbed hold of Justin Randall that time. And that'll be Jordan, or be Joe's second foul. That was a non-shooting foul as Joe and Randall got tied up in the lane that time. So it'll be MidAm's ball. They'll inbound under their own bucket. 7.5 minutes left to play, so Vikes need to make a run here pretty quickly. Now ball knocked away, almost taken away, but recovered that time by Jordan for Mid-America. There's a deep three by Lannis, good. So Nate Lannis buries a deep three, give him 14 points in the game, lead back up to 16.
They must be shooting 70%.
They're shooting well, shooting very well. Scott outside to Cook, out to Hickey. Hickey comes around a screen with the left hand dribble walk. Kyle Hickey drug that back foot, picked that back foot up and drug it, so that'll be a traveling violation against Kyle Hickey. Vikes turn it back over to Mid-America. Brad Hamilton, Kyle Hickey, Andre Scott, James Lane, Joe Williams, the quintet on the floor for the Vikings right now. Vikes try to apply the half-court press. MidAm gets it across, so right wing to Randall. Randall guarded by Big Joe. Now Welty skips it on the left wing to Brubaker. 17 on the shot clock. Lannis picked up by Hamilton out beyond the arc. Deep three by Randall. Got it. Justin Randall drains a three. What else can happen? As Justin Randall now has 21 points in the game.
It's their afternoon, and they are playing great basketball.
Andre Scott. Andre almost loses it. Now it goes out of bounds. They say Mid-America touches it last. So Vikings trail by 19 points, 6.5 minutes left to play.
Wow. This team averages 73 a game. They're already at 72 with 6.5 minutes left.
And they've shot lights out. I mean, shooting lights out here in the second half. Just moved the ball to perfection in the first half. Got layup after layup. And now in the second half, Vikings really playing better defense in the middle, but Mid-America starting to really heat it up from the outside.
And if they hold on to win this, they'll improve to 6-6 in the league, and they are climbing the ladder.
Could be a very dangerous team down the stretch.
I think so.
Now Hamilton outside to Hickey. Back now. Hamilton need a couple threes out of Hamilton. Now James Lane's fouled. I think either Brubaker or Welty, one of those two guys. That's Brubaker. So Cale Brubaker gets his second foul, and that'll be a two-shot foul. And that's going to put James Lane on the line for a couple right here.
Well, as smart as they are handling the ball, this 6:22 is going to go by in a hurry.
James Lane, James only shot 2 free throws. He had 2 in the first half, missed them both. Make it 0 out of 3 is James. Very uncharacteristic of him. Misses his third straight free throw. He'll have one more.
What are we, 3 out of 13 now?
Yeah, I think so. James Lane, one more free throw as he tries to trim into this 19-point lead. Second shot, no good. James missed them both. And boy, if anything can go wrong, it's happened today for the Vikings. Now Brubaker gets it across quickly. Outside head of the key to Welty. Vikes in the man-to-man, need to step that intensity up a little bit on defense. Now Andre Scott tried to step into the passing lane, but they say he got a piece of Nate Lannis down low, so that'll be Andre's, I think that's Andre's third foul.
I've got him with 3, and
that's team foul. Yeah, team foul number 6, so MidAm will be in the 1-and-1 on the next foul. Hickey picks up Brubaker out around the head of the key. Left wing it comes to Jordan. Gabriel looks inside, now gets it out to Randall. Randall back to Brubaker. 24 seconds on the shot clock, so MidAm in no hurry right now to shoot. Welty gives it over left wing to Brubaker. Skip pass all the way into the corner to Jordan. Jordan back to Welty. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Mid-America trying to milk as much of that time as they possibly can. Now Lannis drives inside, missed the layup, rebound Hickey. Here comes Kyle the other way for the Vikings. Hickey into the corner, now driving down the baseline. Andre Scott threw it up, missed it, but he's fouled. So a nice take that time is Andre sporting a pair of nice bright blue socks today. Took that ball, went right down the baseline, tried to flip it up, but draws the two-shot foul.
Some reason Coach Rocky Lamar didn't think that was a foul. I was trying to figure out, maybe he saw a different angle than I did, but that looked like a pretty good foul to me.
That's the second foul on Nate Lannis. That'll put Andre Scott on the line for two right here. Andre, a senior out of Fort Worth, Texas. He and Byron Cook both hail out of the Fort Worth area, and Andre knocks down the first free throw, give him 14 points in the game. He'll have one more.
Yeah, Andre's had a big game.
The lead is now 18, 5 minutes and 27 seconds left to play. Second shot good, so Andre gets both of them down. Vikes will apply the press, need a couple of more steals here. MidAm breaks the press. They get it across to Jordan. Now timeout is that time Gabriel Jordan, Gabriel Jordan, a little bit of trouble out right in front of the MidAm bench, and Coach Rocky Lamar calls a timeout. So 5 minutes, 19 seconds left to play here from Marshall in the Burns Center Grover C. Redford Gymnasium. It's all Mid-America right now. The Pioneers lead at 72-55.
Well, we'll check and see if we have any men's scores. We probably don't yet, but we will check and see if we can.
You know, it's only 5:30. This might be the fastest men's game we played all year.
Fastest men's game that we've played all year. We don't have any scores yet, but there's a lot happening. Benedictine is playing over at Central Methodist, so that's a big game.
I'm trying to see if I hear the roar. I don't hear the roar of the crowd from down there. Central Methodist was ahead by quite a much. We'd probably hear a roar from down there.
Evangel is at Culver, so that's a big game too. But if the Vikings, it looks like, unless they can really mount a comeback here, they're going to fall to 8-4, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens with the other teams above us here. And this would put Mid-America just 2 games behind the Vikings and win the season series. So that'd be pretty big.
And I'm not sure. I look at their schedule here. I'm not sure who they still have to play yet. They've got a game with Benedictine. I think they still have Benedictine. I don't know if they still have Evangel or not. I don't have time to look. Now nice play by James Lane as James steps into the passing lane, gets a steal for the Vikings. Here comes Andre the other way, flips it up, and he's fouled again. So Andre Scott, who just buried 2 free throws minutes ago, will go right back to the line for 2 more right here.
I would stop the clock, score with the clock stop like that.
That's the 3rd foul on Nate Lannis, and Coach Rocky Lamar yells something to his star player, and that's going to put Andre on the line for 2 shots here.
How about Randall? Big game, 21 points. Yep. Did not play in the game at Mid-America National.
You knew it was his night when he hit that one from beyond the arc. And Andre gets the roll on the first shot, knocks down the free throw. He's a perfect 3 out of 3 from the stripe. He'll have one more and give him 16 points in the game. Second shot by the senior out of Fort Worth is good. So Andre knocks down both shots. The lead is 15. Now MidAm takes a timeout. So just over 5 minutes left in the game. Mid-America's led almost the entire way. They lead it right now 72-57.
This game kind of reminds me of the game they played at Olathe. They got off, remember, to a big lead. The Vikings came back a little bit in the second half, but and end up losing 75-59. Now, kind of reminiscent of the same game, except Randall wasn't one of the stars. Brubaker was the star.
Yeah, Brubaker had 21 points in that game, and the Vikes have really done a pretty good job on him. They've held him to only 4 points in the game. But boy, Randall's had a big game. Whalen came out of nowhere. He has 15 points in the game. Randall has 21. Of course, Lannis, you kind of count on him. He's got 14. For the Vikings, Andre Scott and James Lane have carried a good part of the mail. James Lane in the game has 17 points. Andre Scott, I think Andre has the same number, doesn't he? I think he has 17. So both Lane and Scott with 17. Ravio Burton with 11. Brad Hamilton has yet to score. Pressure by the Vikings. Now Lannis dribbles it across, gets it ahead to Welty. Welty backs it out, and once again, I would imagine Mid-America will try to run some clock if they can. And Brubaker almost went over the midcourt line. Now he gets a return pass. Vikes picking up the pressure on defense. Down in the corner to Lanus. 10 on the shot clock for MidAm. And now Jordan walked. No call. They get it to Randall, and Randall laid it in. And I mean that time Gabriel Jordan drug his back foot so obviously, lost his balance, drug the foot, no call, and Randall gets the bucket. Wow, can't believe that one.
And that was a big one. Now it's back to 17, 4:14 to go.
74-57. Randall down low to Welty. Welty up off the glass and in. And just one of those days as Hudson Welty gets his 4th point of the game. It's a 19-point lead for Mid-America. Andre pulls up for a 3. Got it. So a 20-point game for Andre Scott. He buries a 3. That's his 2nd triple of the game. 16-point game. Coach Chad Lance trying to encourage his troops to pick up the pressure on defense. MidAm gets it ahead to Welty. Down low to Randall. Look out. He puts it in. Anytime they found Justin Randall down low, it's been good news for Mid-America today. He's got 25 points, excuse me. Hamilton outside. Brad into the corner to Scott. Now there's a 3 by Hickey. This one misses. Offensive rebound. Andre puts it up, left it short. Andre got the offensive rebound, left the rebound a little bit short on the putback. Now Lanus ahead to Jordan. Jordan up and in, and he's fouled by James Lane. So once again, good ball movement that time. Nate Lanus found Gabriel Jordan streaking down the lane. Jordan's got 9. It's a 20-point, 80-60 lead for Mid-America.
And I mean, they have just they came out hot. They've stayed that way, and you can't say anything but the fact that they just dominated this game.
Daryl Lemaire into the lineup for the first time. We haven't mentioned his name yet today. Daryl is a 6'3" freshman out of Manor, Texas. Brody Thompson out of Republic back in. Jake Fletcher out of Republic back in. Robbie Burton and Joel Williams. That's a 5 on the floor as Jordan knocks down the 2nd free throw. He's in double figures with 10. The lead is 21. Ooh. Now Brody outside. Gets in the corner to Lemaire. Lemaire hands back out to Fletch. Fletch over to Brody. Brody stop and go dribble. Spins back beyond the arc. Back to Big Joe. Down to 13 on the shot clock. Big Joe takes a jumper. Got it. So Joe Williams knocks down a jumper. That gives Joe 7 points in the game. Nice to see the big guy shoot outside like that.
Yeah, Joe's starting to help us out quite a bit offensively. He'll be important down the stretch.
Push off that time, almost an offensive foul. Now they're going to call a 10-second. I think they say a 10-second violation against Mid-America as the Pioneers had trouble attacking that Viking press. Vikes very aggressive that time on defense, so they get the ball back. That's the good news. The bad news is only 2.5 minutes left to play, and it's a 19-point game.
Yeah, that's the bad news. So looks like the Pioneers are going to own the season series against the Vikings.
And they will even their conference record, what, it's 6-6?
6-6.
Vikes look like they're going to fall
8-4.
8-4. Now there's a foul outside. That foul is going to come up against, I think, Hudson Welty's just fouled out of the game. I believe he's picked up his 5th foul as he winds up with 4 points in the game, and he's going to have to take a seat with 2 minutes, 23 seconds left to play. He'll come out, and getting ready to check in will be Jordan Whalen. He'll come back into the lineup.
Well, he's had a nice game, too, hasn't he?
Whalen's had a good game, yep.
Lanus, you expect that. Randall's had a huge game.
2
the
minutes.
Vikings, it's been Scott and Lane.
Yep. Robbie O'Byrne. Robbie had 11 in the first half, looking for his first point of the second half. He got it. So Robbie knocks down his first free throw. He's got 12 in the game. He'll have one more. 2 minutes, 23 seconds left to play. Robbie Elburton out of St. John's Antigua. He's a junior. Second shot good. So Robbie knocks down both. He's 3 out of 5 from the line tonight. 17-point game. There's that pressure by the Vikings. Gabriel Jordan gets it across for MidAm. Now he backs it outside to Brubaker. MidAm wants to set the offense, wants to run some clock, I'm sure. Lanus. Now Lanus is going to be fouled by Jake Fletcher. Jake reaches around. That's about all you can do right now as Jake picks up his 3rd foul, and that's going to put Nate Lanus on the line for a 1-and-1. Lannis comes in. He's averaging almost 19 points a game. First shot in the air, got the roll. He's got 15. He'll have one more here. Lannis hails from Olathe, Kansas, and he knocks down both free throws, so MidAm continues to shoot the ball pretty well. Burton, backdoor cut to Fletcher. Fletcher spins in. Now goes up strong inside, and he's fouled. So nice job by Jake Fletcher, realizing he was in no man's land inside, went up strong, drew the contact. He'll be on the line for 2 shots. Boy, what a lift Jake gave us down up at Graceland. I don't say down, up at Graceland in the snowstorm last week. Jake knocked down 3 triples, had 9 big points in that second half. First shot by Fletch, no good. When it rains, it pours, and that's been the case today for the Vikings. Just nobody can get untracked here.
Well, this was Mid-America's day. They shot well, they played well, they passed the ball well, they earned it.
Second shot by Fletcher is good, so Jake knocks down 1 out of 2, give him 4 points in the game. But I'm afraid it's going to be too little too late. This is a 20-point game. We're under 2 minutes. Mid-America gets it across the timeline. Down low to Parker. Parker off the glass, no good, but he's fouled by Big Joe. So Joe picks up his 3rd foul, and Chris Parker will head to the line for the 2nd time tonight.
Parker has a 3 and a couple of free throws in this game.
Parker again, the junior out of Kansas City, Kansas. He'll have a couple here. First shot is no good. Parker will have one more to try to extend the 18-point lead. Second shot, and he missed them both. Vikes quickly across the timeline. Fletcher launches a 3, got it. So Jake Fletcher knocks down his 2nd triple of the game, give him 7 points. Lead down to 15. Oh, Parker almost walked. He did walk, I think, but no call. Now Mid-America loses it. Scramble on the floor is Joe. Where did Joe come from? Joe Williams comes headlong into the pile, dove head first into that pile, and tied up Cale Brubaker. And with the alternate possession rule, I think the ball, is it going to the, no, it's going to stay with Mid-America, it looks like. So the ball will stay with the Pioneers, but good hustle that time by Joe Williams.
You can't fault that hustle, you're right.
It's 83-68, Mid-America's going to win it. Whalen outside, tried to split the double team. Now they say he kicked it, stepped out of bounds. So the Vikings, no quit this team. Good job on the press. They forced the turnover. They get the ball back with 1:23 left to play. Jake Fletcher knocked down that 3 a minute ago. Let's see if maybe we can get another one. Jake comes around a screen, head of the key. Gets it on the right wing to Brody. Brody lobs, now tried to get it inside to Joe Williams over Joe's head out of bounds. And now Robbie Burton fouls Jordan Whalen as Robbie picks up his 2nd foul, 3rd foul, I guess. And that will send to the line. That should be Jordan Whalen on the line. He's got 15 points in the game. He'll be there for 2 shots as both teams in the double bonus right now.
You know, the Vikings, it looks like, will fall to 8-4 in conference play. Still be in decent position.
Whalen's first shot no good. Mid-America trying to accommodate the Vikings, and they've missed their last 3 free throws, but it's, like we said, I'm afraid it's going to be too little too late as we're down to 1:12 left in the game. 15-point Mid-America lead. Second shot coming up by Whalen. In the air, got the second one. So Whalen, 16 points in the game. The lead is 16. If he hadn't played today, we'd be tied.
Yeah, we'd be tied. There you go.
Now driving inside, Fletcher missed it. Rebound, Jordan Bowling and a basket. Oh, we missed it.
Just can't get
Jordan Bowling got the offensive rebound, had a chance for the bucket and one. Left the shot a little bit short, but he's fouled. He'll have 2 free throws. That foul comes up on Whalen. That's his 4th. Bowling, the sophomore out of Crane, Missouri. Jordan missed the first one. Wow. Free throw stats are not going to look very good for the Vikings today.
A lot of times when you don't shoot well and you struggle on all aspects of the game, you can kind of look at the free throw line, and that's certainly the case today. It is not very good.
Jordan Bowling will have one more here. Second shot's good. So Jordan knocks down 1 out of 2 as we move under a minute to play here in this one. 84-69. MidAm's going to move to 6-6 in conference play. Vikes will fall to 8-4 with a trip to Avila on Thursday night. Another trip to Peru State on a week from today on Saturday afternoon.
3 straight road games coming up.
Pressure by the Vikings. Now Payne Andrus splits the double team. Again, MidAm's going to run as much clock as they possibly can. And then now into the MidAm lineup, Tate Jackson, somebody we haven't seen. Now the Vikes get a steal. Here comes Daryl Lemaire. Daryl up and basket and one. And Daryl Lemaire, nice steal that time. Daryl Lemaire gets a steal, lays it in with the left hand, and he's fouled. So Lemaire with 27.8 seconds to go will have a chance to complete the three-point play. And that comes up on Jackson. That's his first. First shot by Lemaire, missed it. The free throw woes continue, but Jordan Bowling, the offensive rebound, now loses it out of bounds. Boy, what else can go wrong for the Vikings today?
Just can't. Just the offense just wasn't there today. So Mid-America coming in, getting a nice win in the women's game. Going to get a nice win here.
Going to be a nice bus ride back to Olathe.
Nice bus ride back.
I saw that nice Greyhound bus out there. So here comes Fletcher, right wing to Lemaire. Lemaire down the middle, tried to scoop it up, and he's fouled. So Daryl Lemaire, who had a bucket just a minute ago, will go to the line for 2 shots right now. That foul comes up on David Nelson, who's also checked into the MidAm lineup, and that'll put Daryl Lemaire on the line. Daryl had a basket just a minute ago. He'll have a chance for 2 free throws here for the freshman out of Manor, Texas. First shot, good. So Daryl will have one more. But there's only 12.4 seconds left in the game. Second shot perfect, so Lemaire knocks down both, give him 4 in the game. 84-73. The Vikings have got it down to an 11-point game, but there's only 8.8 seconds left.
Well, Central Methodist beat Benedictine this afternoon.
Did they really?
61-57,
Wow.
So here they come. They're only a game behind the Vikings now. Vikings will remain tied with Benedictine at 8-4, but CMU now just a game behind.
So you got CMU, Benedictine, and the Vikings a game apart. Peru State, who are they playing today?
Peru State is at Avila today, so that'd be a good one.
So if they win that one, didn't they have the same record as Central Methodist coming in?
They would be 7-6. They would be 7-6. Okay. Yeah, because they played that extra game. So
Andrus knocks down the first free throw. Payne Andrus missed the second one. But MidAm's going to get the win here today. They're going to come in here and knock the Vikings off. They're going to sweep the season series as Jake Fletcher takes a shot at the buzzer, missed it, and it's over. The Mid-America Pioneers lead almost wire to wire. They lead it by 7 at halftime. They come into Marshall and come away with a big 85-73 win as they move to 6-6 in conference play. The Vikings with the loss fall to 8-4.
We'll be back. We'll talk to the coach and wrap it up in a moment.
This may sound like a typical high school basketball game being played on a Friday night in Missouri. In fact, it's a crash course in cooperation and teamwork. It's a test of dedication, determination, and drive. It's character development in action. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think about this. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students who participate in school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. At the same time, playing sports helps teach lessons not covered in the classroom. Lessons like tolerance, respect for the rules, and the importance of supporting your community. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, for the game, Mid-America Nazarene shoots 61%. Wow, they were 34 out of 56. 61% from the field for the game. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. The Vikings not bad, 44.3%, but just a rough game all the way around.
And from the free throw line, I'm surprised the Vikings ended. I don't know. Let's see, free throws. I'm surprised the Vikings ended as well as they did, 52% from the line. So just one of those games, and it was all Mid-America today as they win it by the score of 85 to 73. Coach Chad Lance joins us for a couple moments. Coach, one of those games, they shot the ball well, played well, and wouldn't go in the basket for your club, and they just pretty much controlled this one today, didn't they?
Well, that's the woodshed right there. We did not play hard at all. They came out and got after us and was aggressive and physical with us. And Q, if you notice, sometimes when that happens, we go and hide. And I thought we went and hid. We wasn't aggressive. We wasn't very tough. And then defensively, I mean, we're indicative to their field goal percentage right there. They shoot 61% for the game. No matter what we shoot, we're not gonna play well. Yeah. And I'm just looking at the stats that just got passed to me right here. 44 points in the paint. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
In that first half, they just those short passes. Randall came in and he had 20. He led them with 25 points. And you just couldn't. And I think a lot of times it just seems like a lot of that goes to free throw line, and we were not very good from there either. First half, 28% from the line. So, that's just kind of a part of what you're talking about, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, it's huge. It's a huge part of it. And, I mean, playing at home, I mean, MidAm is a good team.
Yeah.
I think sometimes maybe we just expected to win. I don't think we came out and we worked for it and worked to win. And it's unfortunate. We've played so well for so long, and still a lot to play for, still 6 games, but it's extremely disappointing in our effort. And I put so much into how we play by how we guard. And we've been in some situations where we haven't guarded well, and we've struggled in first halves, and then we came out and guarded well in the second half. Or we just didn't come out and guard well at all, and we get beat. So where we were mentally, I'm unsure, but it wasn't where we needed to be.
Well, Central Methodist knocked off Benedictine. That's about the only other score I have, 61 to 57. So tied there. But boy, this thing, I've got a couple that's the only other score I've got. But that's really starting to tighten things up. But there's still a lot to play for. But here we go on the road now, Coach. 3 in a row. You talk about tough. Go to Avila, go to Peru, and go to Culver. You'll find out a lot about your team the next week and a half, won't you?
Well, unfortunately, I found out something about them here today. That's a disappointing thing. And then, I told our guys the games that were in the conference and that were going on. And, we take care of business right here. Obviously, we'd be it doesn't matter. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm just going to get even more frustrated.
Well, we'll just go on the road and be fun. Let's go to Avila. It's a place that you have had quite a bit of success, and I know Rodney's team's playing well. It should be a fun game Thursday night.
I hope so.
All right, Coach. Thanks for coming over.
All right, thank you.
So the Mid-America Nazarene Pioneers come in. The women win their game, and the men win as well. So both games go to the Pioneers today. We'll take a quick look at a couple of scores, and then we're gonna wrap things up for the visitors. Justin Randall had 25 points, 16 for Nate Lanas, 16 for Jordan Whalen, 10 points for Gabriel Jordan, 4 for Cale Brubaker, 5 for Chris Parker off the bench. Payne Andrus had 3, it looks like, and 2 points for O'Shea Clark. For the Vikings, Joe, it looks like it was the Andre Scott show, 22 points. James Lane had 15, 13 Rafi Burton, 7 for Fletcher. Joe Williams had 7. Daryl Lemire off the bench, 4, 3 for Hickey. But boy, when 61% shooting, part of that may be a lack of defense by the Vikings, but great play by Mid-America Nazarene. It's just you're not going to beat anybody when they shoot that well.
You don't know what it is with the Stars. We talked about DeLay Earls having trouble getting baskets the last several games. Brad Hamilton has scored 2 points in the last 2 games. Brad had 2 up at Graceland, did not score today, and boy, he's as good a scorer, as good a shooter as there is in this conference. So we'll try to get him on track Thursday night up at Avalon. Just, this isn't one of those games you're going to lay awake at night thinking about if we made this play or made that play. The Vikes just got whipped today. That's all you can say. Mid-America came out and played a heck of a game. Give them credit. They came out, they took charge early, had a very good first half and kept it going in the second half, and just came in and got a win.
All right, so that's it, Joe. Well, you're ready. You got your road clothes on. Here we go. Avila, Peru and Culver the next 3
I'm
games.
getting ready for that big Valentine's next Saturday afternoon in Peru, Nebraska.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We'll go to the Oak Bowl. We'll check out the Oak Bowl while we're there.
That'll be fun.
All right. Thanks for being with us on Stretch and also on live stream. A big afternoon for Mid-American Nazarene. They win both. For Joe Wall, Ken Quiavin, we'll talk to you on Stretch on the road on Thursday from Kansas City and Avila. So long from Marshall.